Hey everyone, welcome back to Drive It Out. My name is Adam and I am excited to be here at the 2024 Chicago Auto Show. And I'm really stoked to talk about this car behind me. We are actually going to compare it to a similar car that is right over here. Right now, we have the Civic Type R. That's right, this is the 2024 Honda Civic Type R. And I really want to talk about the differences between this and the Integra Type S, which is right over there. We're going to check out too. And it's great. This is a beautiful, bright red. And Integra is a gorgeous blue color. So let's talk about what you're getting here now. This is not your average Civic, right? This is the Type R's. Think performance, right? I'm going to go ahead and say it because it's the thing that needs to be said most. This is a 6-speed manual transmission. This is a car for driving enjoyment. We love it. 3,188 pounds curb weight. That is not bad when you're talking about today's cars, modern cars, and it's definitely not bad for a four-door. I had a C6 Corvette that weighed the same as this car. That is not a lot of weight. That means it's going to be more fun to drive. This is not your regular Honda Civic, guys. Type R, look at the performance arrow they've got on it. You've got the bigger wheels and you've got the big brakes behind there with that Brembo brake package. Guys, under the hood is a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder with 315 horsepower, mated to that manual 6-speed transmission. That is what the driving experience is all about. Come around here, I want you guys to see the back because this is obviously designed to be pretty boisterous, right? To, you know, it gets attention. You've got this giant spoiler, real edgy design. You've got those triple outlet exhaust tailpipes down there. Absolutely loving it, but check out, that's right, there's a wiper right there. This is a hatchback. Gotta love it. Tell you what, there's good space to be had in here. Fold those back seats down. You're gonna be able to fit more in here than you might think with a car of this size, and that hatchback is huge. How many times you see a car that has good sized trunk space, but you have this tiny little opening in the trunk, so you can't fit, you have something that could fit in the trunk, but you can't get it in the trunk. That is nice to have this hatch. So now you're gonna get that on the Integra too. You'll see that as well. But while we're still over here at the Civic, I just wanna show you this car. I'm loving the red with the red accents on the wheels, and let's look at the interior. Guys, the red spills over into the interior, and not just the seats, onto the floorboards as well, and it is so sharp. If you're not familiar with the latest gen Civic, they've really done a great job with the interiors. They're nice and clean. Look at that dash. I love the design of the dash, the line that goes all the way across, and they've incorporated those vents, those air vents, into that line on the front of the dash. You've got a good display there. But again, the big thing is that 6-speed manual stick shift in there. Now, you can probably tell these are pretty aggressive seats. Oh, I love the way you get down in there. You've got all that nice bolstering. Guys, this car is ready to be fun and go get serious. It's, to get one of these out on the road, I absolutely cannot wait to do this. But look here a little closer. What you are getting here on this newer Civic, you have a completely digital gauge cluster. So your RPMs, your speed, it's all going to be digital. But you have a nice display up here, and it is a touchscreen, but you have a nice, good volume knob button here to turn off your stereo, and you still have tangible buttons for your climate control here. This is all very nicely done. This fits together well, and it even smells like a Honda in here. I've owned 8 Hondas and Acuras in my driving life so far, and while these new ones are much different than ones from 5, 10, 20 years ago, they still have that same feeling that you have inside of a Honda. Everything fits together really well. There's a certain feel and touch to the materials, the tactileness of things in here. It feels very well put together, and when you get out and drive it, they feel that way as well. Now you do have, this is electric power steering here, you know, so you're not going to get the steering feel that you maybe would in something that is older, but the way they've dialed it in here is really, really sharp, and I'm loving this shift knob. They have that theme that they've kept with the shift knob in these reminds me of the shift knob in the Acura TSX Special Edition that I had. That was a 6-speed manual as well, and the shift knob is very similar. You can always count on them for the good feel on that shift knob there. But I'll tell you what, if you're shopping for one of these, you are probably cross-shopping it with the Acura Integra Type S. So we're gonna look at that. Before we leave, know that this one is stickers at $45,890, this Civic Type R. So let's run really quick over here to this Integra Type S here at the Honda booth. Again, Honda has a big display here at the show in Chicago. They've even brought a Honda Jet that they've got over here, or at least the fuselage of it. But let's go over here. This is what we're looking for. This is a gorgeous blue. Honda has done blues, very nice blues, for a very long time. Think all the way back to the Civic in the late 90s. I tell you what, this obviously, you look at it, the design is much more staid. The design feels more mature. They kind of designed it like it's the more grown-up version of that Civic Type R. But you're getting a lot of the same stuff underneath. It's the same bones, right? So you do get 5 more horsepower. They've tuned this car differently, but you still have that 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder, and it is mated to a 6-speed manual transmission. That's right, both of these cars, front-wheel drive sports sedans, right? We'll call it, I'm not gonna call it sports cars, I'll call it sports sedans, but they're about as fun to drive as it can get with front-wheel drive. And they've got that limited slip up there and everything. You're going to be good. But I really just want to talk about what you're getting if you decide to move upscale a little bit and go with the Integra Type S. First of all, I'm going to say it's almost worth it for me just with this color. I am so in love with this color. I've always liked these Honda blues, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Now, again, similar here, you're going to get nice big brakes and wheels. This has summer performance tires on it. You come around here to the back and you'll see, again, your spoiler on that Type R was all the way up here. You could sit under it face backwards and use it as a lunch tray if you wanted. This is much different, much smaller, but it goes with this car very well. You open here, you have that same nice big hatch space back here, but you can tell that the materials already are a little more upscale than they were in that Civic Type R. While they're still nice in the Civic Type R, these are just a little bit different. But come on around, I like the way they've kind of smoothed out the design. I actually really like these tail lights. And again, you think about when this Integra came out a couple years ago, it kind of caused a stir. People were excited about it, and it came out, and it's only 4-door. They don't do a 2-door version, and people seemed like they might be a little underwhelmed with it at the beginning. But people have come back around, and they are really enjoying these things and liking these things. And I think that the design has really grown on most people. And for me, again, seeing things in pictures is not the same as seeing them in person. Before you really make a full judgment on a car, you need to see it in person. And this car looks absolutely gorgeous in person. Let's go ahead and look at the inside again, because we're going to talk about a little bit more of those differences. Take a look at these seats. While there is good bolstering on there, they are not as wild as the seats were in that Type R. They're not going to wrap around you quite as much, but they are still good sport seats, and I love the design in there, that black with those red accents. Oh man. Again, this blue paint contrasts so well with these red accents, and you go right into that black interior. It definitely seems much more luxurious while still maintaining its sporty feel. Now, you've jumped all the way up to $53,000 with this, right? So you're at $5,000 more than you were in the Type R. But you get in here and it's all very familiar. You do have a good shifter. They've put a little bit of a leather material around this one, and this shifter seems like it's a little bit smaller maybe than that one in the Civic. Maybe it's just a visual thing because of the way they've got this wrap, but you get this suede or Alcantara material here on the boot, and the dash is a little bit different design. They don't have the vent grill that goes all the way across. They've kind of brought in this other material here, and it does look slightly different, but everything is going to be very similar. The gauges are that same digital screen, and you have this same screen up here. I have to say that I am absolutely a huge fan. So where is that extra $5,000 going if you go from the Civic Type R up to the Type S? Yeah, you're getting 5 more horsepower. They've tuned it a little bit differently, but it also doesn't go quite as hardcore when you're talking about drive mode. So this is going to maintain, it's not go quite out to the edges of what that Civic Type R would be, maybe for like a track experience, but you are getting a little bit more horsepower here. You are getting, for instance, more speakers. The Type R has 12 speakers, this has 16. So everything is just a little bit more with this as far as what you get, and it's a little bit maybe less with the design and kind of the ostentatious nature that that Civic Type R has is really toned down here with the Integra Type S. Guys, I'm a huge fan of both of these vehicles. If you are looking for something that can fit the family, but maybe also be really fun to drive, and you're looking around the $40,000, $40,000 to $50,000 range, you have to look here. You can get a manual transmission and you can really have some fun. I think you're really going to enjoy the driving experience. Plus, man, get a car in a cool color, and you can find that here. We've got this bright blue, you got that bright red over there. Monochrome colors are fine, but we've got enough of them in the world. Come over here, pick a color, get a manual transmission, and enjoy yourself. Guys, thanks so much for joining me here in this video at the Chicago Auto Show. Appreciate you watching, and check out our other reviews from here at the show. This has been Drive It Out. My name is Adam, and I will see you in the next review.